Hello, preschool friends. It's Mrs. Kramer again. I'm videotaping from my home because, again, we still are not in the classroom, but I wanted to be able to read you a story. So the one I've chosen today is about shapes, and you're going to know who is in the story. So first of all, we have Matt Man, and you'll recognize Matt Man because we've made him before. We've made him with our big lines, big curves, little curves, and our blue rectangle mats. And that's how we have used those to build Matt Man, and we've used the lines and the curves to build our letters on the mat. So today though, this one is about shapes. And the author is Jan Z. Olson, and the illustrator is Molly Delaney. So, author writes, illustrator draws. Okay, Matt Man shapes. See what happens when his shapes change. Okay. If we made Matt Man with a rectangle, what would Matt Man do? He'd be the real Matt Man, and his mat would be blue. If we made Matt Man with a circle, what would Matt Man do? He'd roll and roll around the floor, and then he'd roll right out the door. Because circles go round and round, they don't have any sides. It's like a ball. If we made Matt Man with a diamond, we might also call that a rhombus, what would Matt Man do? He'd float up high into the sky, and then he'd look down and wave, bye-bye. Turn into a kite. If we made Matt Man with a, say it out loud at your house, and if you said triangle, you're right. What would Matt Man do? He'd hold the triangle in his hand, then ding, ding, ding in a marching band. That reminds me of when we have done our bands at school. I love playing band with you guys. Okay, if we made Matt Man with an oval, what would Matt Man do? He'd sit with Humpty on the wall, then hold him so he wouldn't fall. What a good friend he's being. He doesn't want Humpty Dumpty to crack. If we made Matt Man with a moon, what would Matt Man do? He'd go outside to tell the cow, ready, set, jump over me now. Reminds me of our Hey Diddle Diddle nursery rhyme that we got to act out at school. If we made Matt Man with a square, what would Matt Man do? He'd take a partner to a dance and do-si-do at every chance. If we made Matt Man with an octagon, now our octagon is going to have 8 sides. Let's count them and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, what would Matt Man do? He'd stand in the street like a traffic cop. He'd make the cars and buses stop. That word right there says stop. You see that when you're driving or taking walks. If we made Matt Man with this is a challenge shape, has 6 sides. And if you said hexagon, you're correct. If we made Matt Man with a hexagon, what would Matt Man do? He'd count his sides from 1 to 6, and then he'd stoop to pick up sticks. Let's count his sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all there. If we made Matt Man with a star, what would Matt Man do? He would make your wish come true. One special wish just for you. There he is. Okay, if we made Batman with a pentagon. Pentagon has 5 sides. Oh, there's a 5 right there. What would Batman do? He'd count my fingers. Look alive. Now count my corners up to 5. So if we count his corners, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's practice counting on our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we made Batman with a heart, what would Batman do? He'd give us each a Valentine and say, I love you, please be mine. Giving a hug. Again, being a good friend. Oh, but we are back to the first shape. Say it out loud. What shape is it? And if you said rectangle, you are right. If we made Batman with a blue rectangle, what would Batman do? He'd say, that's my mat. My mat's bright blue. Shapes are fun to do with you. Okay, so I thought a fun little shape activity that you could do at home would be to find straw. If you have straws, plastic straws, or even clothespins, craft sticks, we are going to make shapes with these items. So I'm going to move this way. Okay, so I have some straws, but I just cut them in half, so they're kind of small. But I'm going to see if I get, geez, I have 3 straws here. I wonder what shape I can make with 3 sides. Think in your head and say it out loud when you know. If you said triangle, you are right. Okay, so I am going to build my triangle with 3 sides. And I can count them, 1, 2, 3. And it also has 3 corners, 1, 2, 3. But now I want to make my shape into a square. But square has 4 sides that are all the same. So I'm going to need another straw because I only have 3, but I need 4, so I need 1 more. And I've got it. So I am going to create my square. Okay, they kind of like to roll, so I put mine on a paper to see if I could get them to stay a little better. But I've got my 4 sides. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I can also count the corners. 1, 2, 3, 4. But now, if I wanted to change this into a rectangle, oh gosh, a rectangle is 2 long sides and 2 short sides. But this one has 4 sides that are all the same. So I have an idea. I need to add 2 more straws. And let's see. I'm going to make, there's my 2 long sides. 1, 2. And then I bring my short sides in. I have my rectangle. So again, you can, if you don't have these, have straws at home, you could use like here's some clothespins. You could even try to hook the clothespins together. But you can make the shapes with these. If you have any craft sticks, craft feathers, any item you can think of, be creative, but you can create lots of shapes. String. But then there's a challenge too to see if you can you make a triangle, square, rectangle, that tricky shape hexagon, or the diamond that we can also call a rhombus. Maybe you can make a star. So challenge yourself. If you are going to cut your straws in half to make them smaller, have mom or dad help you. But that'd be a good way to practice with scissors again too. So, okay, again, I miss you all. I want to give everyone a great big hug, and I'm thinking about you. Here's my heart. Okay. All right, see you next time. Bye.